Welcome to our deep dive today.
Yeah.
We're going to be exploring the impact of Yu-Gi-Oh! And its creator, Kazuki Takahashi.
Right.
Sadly, Takahashi recently passed away.
He did.
And so this deep dive is going to be kind of looking at a YouTube video that was made as a tribute to him by a YouTuber who calls himself the Mythology Guy.
Okay.
And he kind of talks about how Yu-Gi-Oh! As a creation, as a game, as a franchise, really shaped his life growing up.
Interesting.
And even to this day.
Wow.
And we're also going to be talking about Takahashi's passing because he actually died a real-life hero.
Yeah, it's a remarkable story.
Really?
Takahashi actually drowned trying to save 3 people.
Oh, wow.
Caught in a rip current.
Oh, my God.
He was 60 years old.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's pretty tragic, but also very heroic.
Yeah, and his YouTuber talks about that too.
Right.
He kind of calls his passing tragic, but also sees this kind of like poetry in it.
Yeah.
He says it's something Takahashi will be remembered for.
Yeah, and it does align with the themes that are woven into Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh,
courage and selflessness and standing up for others.
Yeah.
Even in his final moments, Takahashi embodied those values.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And the video isn't just about mourning, though.
Right.
It's really about celebrating the impact that Takahashi had on his fans.
His fans.
And like the YouTuber talks about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Being like his first trading card game experience.
Trading card games, especially for younger audiences, can be much more than just games. They become gateways to other interests and skills.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think the YouTuber story is a great example of that.
Okay.
He talks about how he used to dominate bullies in middle school with his dragon deck.
Wow.
I mean, how cool is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example of how Yu-Gi-Oh! Can foster strategic thinking. It's not just about knowing the cards, it's about analyzing your opponent, anticipating their moves, and outsmarting them.
Yeah.
Those are valuable skills you can apply in all sorts of situations.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And it goes even deeper than that.
Oh, really?
The YouTuber talks about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Sparked his lifelong fascination with mythology.
Interesting.
Especially Egyptian mythology.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Filled with mythological references and creatures, and for many, it's their first exposure to these rich traditions. It's like a hidden doorway to learning about history and different cultures.
That's like sneaking in a history lesson without even realizing.
Exactly.
But for this YouTuber, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was more than just a fun hobby.
Oh, okay.
He actually credits the game with helping him cope with depression and bullying.
Wow.
He would look at his Yu-Gi-Oh! Posters and create stories in his head.
Okay.
Using the characters and the world as a way to kind of escape his problems.
That really highlights the power of escapism, especially for young people facing difficult situations.
Yeah.
Imagination can be a powerful tool, offering solace, inspiration, and a sense of control when things feel overwhelming.
It's like building your own world, where you can be the hero of your own story.
Exactly.
Speaking of being a creator, guess what? This YouTuber was so inspired by Yu-Gi-Oh! That he's now designing his own card game.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to see how creative works inspire new generations of creators.
Cool.
That's the beautiful ripple effect of something like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Takahashi's legacy lives on not just in the game itself, but in the countless people he's inspired to create their own worlds and stories.
And get this, the YouTuber even mentions starting out by using Yu-Gi-Oh! Templates and Microsoft Paint. Talk about a direct connection.
Yeah.
But he also makes a really interesting observation.
Okay.
He prefers the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Game mechanics.
Okay.
And isn't a fan of the newer editions.
Interesting.
He even said he had no clue what Synchros, Mike-YZs, Links, and Pendulums are.
Well, for those unfamiliar, the game has introduced new card types and summoning mechanics over the years.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Synchros are powerful monsters summoned by combining a tuner monster with other monsters.
Right.
XYZ monsters are stacked on top of each other and use their ranks instead of levels.
Okay.
Links have arrows pointing to different zones on the field and affect how other monsters can be played.
Wow.
And pendulums act as both spells and monsters, adding a whole new layer of complexity to the game.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is.
I can see why some longtime fans might feel a bit overwhelmed by all the changes.
Right, it does raise the question of how a creative work evolves over time and whether it remains true to its original spirit.
Yeah, it's almost like a band releasing a new album that sounds completely different from their early work.
Right.
Some fans love the new direction, while others long for the good old days.
Yeah.
It makes you think about that delicate balance between innovation and nostalgia, and how creators navigate that.
For sure.
Yeah. It's interesting because even though the YouTuber prefers the original gameplay,
Right.
he still really appreciates the care and attention to detail that Takahashi put into like every aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay.
He was really impressed by like the descriptions on each card.
Oh, Oh,
Even the ones without special effects.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's about creating a rich and immersive world, even in the smallest details.
Totally.
Those little snippets of lore give each creature a sense of history and purpose,
Right.
making the game feel more like a living, breathing universe.
It's those little touches that can really make a difference.
Yeah,
You start to feel like you're part of something bigger.
for sure.
And that sense of connection extends beyond the cards themselves.
Right.
The YouTuber mentions how he used to try to win Yu-Gi-Oh packs as prizes at this after-school program he attended.
Oh, wow.
He ended up with thousands of cards.
That brings us to the collecting aspect,
Right.
which is a huge part of the appeal for many fans. There's a thrill in the hunt for rare cards. The excitement of opening packs
Yeah.
and the satisfaction of completing a set.
It's like a treasure hunt.
Exactly.
I remember as a kid, I used to collect baseball cards.
Uh-huh.
There was something so satisfying about organizing them in those little plastic sleeves,
Yeah.
carefully arranging them in my binder.
Yeah.
It was like building my own little museum.
Exactly. And it's not just about the objects themselves.
Right.
It's about the memories and experiences attached to them.
Yeah.
For this YouTuber, those cards are tangible reminders of his childhood,
Yeah.
his connection to Yu-Gi-Oh,
Mhm.
and ultimately his connection to Takahashi's creative vision.
And speaking of memories,
Yeah.
the YouTuber reminisces about watching the Yu-Gi-Oh anime every Saturday morning,
Okay.
even though his dad wouldn't let him.
Oh, no.
He even gives a shout out to the mom guy for sneaking him a peek at the show.
It speaks to the power of these franchises to capture our imaginations
Yeah.
and create lasting memories. And it's not just the anime, it's the manga, the video games, the online communities.
Right.
All these different avenues contribute to a richer, more immersive experience.
He's like, each piece adds another layer to the world,
Exactly.
making it feel more real and alive.
Yeah.
And for many fans, it becomes a shared experience,
Right.
something they can connect with others
Yeah.
over, like finding your tribe.
Precisely. And in this case, that sense of community seems to have been built around a shared admiration for Kazuki Takahashi and his creations.
Yeah.
The YouTuber even says he hopes Takahashi can somehow see how much his work has meant to people.
That's a really touching sentiment.
It is.
It's like he wants to thank Takahashi for creating something that brought him so much joy, comfort, and inspiration.
Absolutely.
Makes you wonder if Takahashi ever realized the profound impact his work would have on so many people.
Yeah, it's hard to say. But,
Yeah.
it's clear that he poured his heart and soul into creating something special.
Cool.
And that passion resonated with millions of fans around the world.
This whole conversation has me thinking about the things that have had a similar impact on my life.
Oh, yeah.
Like those books or movies or even video games that really stuck with me and shaped who I am today.
I think it's worth reflecting on those experiences.
Yeah.
What were those things that sparked your creativity or provided an escape or helped you connect with others?
Right.
Why did they resonate with you so deeply?
Yeah, for me, it was probably the first time I saw Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
I was completely transported to another world, and it ignited my imagination in a way that few things have.
Mm-hmm.
I remember spending hours drawing spaceships and creating my own stories based on the characters in the universe.
It's amazing how a single piece of pop culture can have such a profound and lasting effect.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to the power of creativity to connect with people on such a deep level.
It's true, and in Kazuki Takahashi's case, it's clear that his creativity touched countless lives. He gave us a world filled with adventure and imagination and powerful life lessons disguised as card games and anime battles.
Yeah. His legacy is a reminder that even fictional worlds can have a real and lasting impact.
Right.
They can inspire us, comfort us, and teach us valuable lessons about ourselves and the world around us.
And while his passing is a tremendous loss, Takahashi's spirit lives on in the hearts and minds of the millions of fans he inspired.
I agree.
So to our listener, we encourage you to take a moment to reflect on those pieces of pop culture that have had a profound impact on your life.
Yeah.
What worlds have you escaped to?
What stories have shaped who you are?
And who are the creators you'd like to thank for enriching your life with their imagination and passion? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.